Right, the big question is going to be, is my memory card going to work? Because I think my sister still has the only official memory card. I've got a third party one which is like meant to be storing 16 different memory cards worth of data. Which is fine, but it has just lost all its data before and it's been a bit finicky in actually being recognised by the console. I've got half a mind to pick up one of those new memory cards that end up taking a micro SD in there. Another save file. Okay, that's fine, we'll make a new one. I don't know whether that's because it's wiped it or because I managed to switch to a different bank of saves that's not got the one that I've played before. Could be one or the other. Who knows?
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a Dragon's Age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Gnork character?
At some point I do need
Now, I
to
understand he's
time
found
the
a
actual
magic
delay
spell to turn
the
gems
capture
into
device
warriors
takes
for
to
his
get the
god.
feed into the
I'll take that
PC
question.
because
Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
I'm fairly certain my
He has been contained.
what
in
I'm
a
saying
remote
is not in
world.
sync with what's
He's
happening on
no
screen.
threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. That does it.
Looks like I've got some things to do.
I was considering streaming some Forza Horizon a few weeks ago, and then I realised, oh right, that's just nothing but licensed music.
Thank you for releasing.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see some of the best dragons in this playthrough. Well, not tonight anyway, because the best ones are the ones in the later
What
worlds,
about Nasty Nork?
where they
I'm
just
going
kind of
after
gave
him.
up thinking of how to
Find
what dialogue to write
dragons
for them.
That's all I can tell you.
Before I get too far, active camera, please. No, screen adjust. Oh, that's just position. Okay. I was going to say, feeding this through an open source scan converter, and on my display, there's quite a lot of overscan happening, or underscan, I don't know which. Effectively, it's overscanning because it's expected to be spitting out to a CRT.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro.
Crop that all out
You
for the
have much
stream,
to
though, I
learn
think.
first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
So the thing is, the extra lives system in this game seems to run on the implication that you will get more lives if you revisit earlier levels. Because the way it works is you're getting the majority of your extra lives from killing enemies you've already got the gems out of. But if you're clearing out each level the first time you go in, there are very few enemies you actually end up encountering outside the hub worlds that you've actually got, you're actually visiting after you've already got the gems out of them. So I end up always finishing this game with very few lives compared to some other games.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks, plummeting into prehistoric glaciers.
Oh, that.
I have been meaning to check out one of the modern PlayStation emulators that corrects for the texture warping, but I don't know why. I've had a play about with emulators in the past, and there's something nice about playing on original hardware. I mean, this isn't a PlayStation 1, it's a PlayStation 2, but as far as I'm concerned, point still stands. There's no software emulation going on with this. No, there isn't. Is there? I was trying to think if there's any egg thieves in the Artisan Zone world. There isn't. They're all on the levels, aren't they, in this one? Oh, for God's sake. I think Peacekeepers and Magic Crafters both have egg thieves in the hub. Is the other side just an extra life, I want to say? Good check. No, I thought there was an extra life in this area. I just missed it. By the way, I thought I'd got the audio balance right, but if not, let me know. I'll crank up the microphone volume a bit more. Say. Oh, first try. Glide's always a pain in the arse. This dragon's always interesting in that it's got two different lines of dialogue.
Cool flash! Do that again!
The artisan's boss is through a portal in the dragon mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
For some reason I had it in my head that that boss opens after you've freed 10 dragons, but is that when you can leave artisans? Is that what I'm thinking? Now, when I played the Reignited trilogy, Golden Spin, well, it was when it came out on Switch, whenever that was. I remember the whole game almost felt a little dated, in a way that the Crash Insane trilogy I didn't get the same impression from. I don't know whether that'll be true playing the PlayStation version or whether that's something specific to the way the Reignited
When you
trilogy
free a
was.
dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
The fact that you can't point sparks at gems in Spyro 1 non-reignited is potentially going to be a problem. I've definitely had it before where I've missed a gem in Spyro 1 and just had to spend a bunch of time just scouring the entire level again until I found it.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet!
For the longest glide, press the X button at the top of a jump. and try pressing the triangle button to drop down in mid-flight.
I know it's quaint by modern standards, but it was really quite impressive at the time this came out, just how good this game was at doing dynamic level of details to maintain the draw distance. You look back on the earlier games, not only just on the PlayStation but the N64 as well, they were not able to render things quite as expansive. Also, I remember the Egg Thieves being so much harder in Reignited. I'm going to crank the mic volume a little bit more because it's looking a bit low. Let's try 100%. That might be a bit better. At some point, I should get my head around how OBS Studio actually works and get a consistent setup in place. But given that my streams have thus far been fairly sporadic, it doesn't seem to be that high priority. Maybe more over the side. That's obvious. Is everything that's up here? Nope, not quite. I often used to find it surprisingly hard to find that beach when I was a kid. I know at this point, I know you just jump off from where the end of the level is, but for whatever reason as a kid, it's just, I think it's the fact that you can't easily look up or down without going to the first person, which is not the, oh god, easiest way of doing it. Did not expect that bull thing to come get me. Ram, whatever it is.
After you freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya.
That's another case of, as a kid, I thought you legitimately had to always leave the level through the level exit. Whereas now it's just like, yeah, no, you can just leave from the menu, it never loses you any progress.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
Everything? Yeah, that's everything. One thing I do remember from Reignited Trilogy as well is I somehow managed to finish Spyro 3 with more gems than it was actually possible to have. I think it was the Western themed level at the end of the game. Somehow managed to spawn. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I ended up with like 3 more gems than what the level's actually meant to contain. So that's just permanently on my save file on Switch now.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro. Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the L2 and R2 buttons to get a good look.
I think maybe part of the reason this game in particular feels a bit primitive by today's standards is just the fact that there's very little. I don't know. It's strange. There's no progression in terms of what you're doing moment to moment, right? You're always Spyro's moveset doesn't develop in this game.
Did you know that you get
But
your
that still
longest
doesn't-
glides by pressing X
It still doesn't
at
make
the
sense
very top of your
because
jump?
again, I don't feel the same way about the Crash games, and the only Crash game where your moveset develops is Crash 3. I mean, as far as Spyro the character is concerned, the only Spyro game where your moveset develops is the second one, because the third one they replaced that with just adding additional characters. Oh, that's good. These things that took behind the door entrance have caught me out before. Wow, I miss all of this.
Thank you for releasing me.
Clearly there was a dragon early on that just has the we couldn't be bothered to think of a dialogue line. Alright, remembering that you don't necessarily have to kill the bulls. Yeah, if you just challenge them, you still got the gem, and they just stay stuck in the ground, horns down. And they just like that permanently until you leave the level or flame them.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg. You've got to track him down and get that egg. Run! Run! I'm getting a little winded.
All the bespoke dragon designs for Reignited were good though. Although I did buy the art book for Reignited, and they did kind of dedicate most of the art book to going over their redesigned dragons. I probably am going to do the Speedway level first time round in this world. In terms of like game flow, you're not really meant to even know that it's there until you've been to, I think it's one of the Magic Crafters levels explicitly tells you, hey, jump on the pads to open up the level. It's only after you've heard that dialogue that I think the visual hint for that starts triggering. I think it just doesn't give you any visual hint until you've had that dialogue once.
Oh, it's you. I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course, they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
It does seem a bit odd that you're given the tutorials on here's how you beat enemies with shields and that are large, after you've had to work that out for yourself anyway.
Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the triangle button when you want to zoom in and look around.
Oh, your secret's safe with me.
Yeah, as much as I've thought about getting that micro SD backed PS1 memory card, the truth is, I'm not that precious about save games nowadays. Generally speaking, most of the time, if I want to revisit an old game, I want to play it from scratch anyway. So why am I going to bother going to the effort of preserving my save files that I'm never going to touch again? Very few games where I would actually want to just load up my existing save. Go back 10 years and I probably would have wanted to do that with the Grand Theft Autos, but 3 through San Andreas are quite clunky by modern standards, and 4 never agreed with me, and I think I've not played more than the first hour of 5. Relevant concern. God, I forgot that this game has some levels with really low gem code.
Big enemies
counts.
like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
Yeah, so there, just like I said, oh, we're going to tell you how to beat the enemies that are too large to charge. You've got flame them. It's like, oh, at the point where I've had to already defeat every single one in the level, you're telling me that now. The active camera is definitely better than the passive camera, but it's still not great. Toasty. Of course, the problem with Toasty is the dogs on the approach to the boss are more threatening than the boss itself. know practically all the music in Spyro 1 is just a variation on a single theme, but I think this particular level has always been one of my favourite renditions of it. I don't know if there's a better strategy for fighting the dogs than this, because in Reignited I felt like I have a vague recollection that the dogs' hitboxes were just crazy compared to this game. Like I thought I was moving out of the way in time and I was still getting hit. Well, that was fairly painless, all things considered. I had worse runs at that level. I was just about to get hit by that shepherd. Idiot.
Nasty Nork has put one of his most devious henchmen in charge of the artisan world.
Bring him on. I think I smell a barbecue.
Be careful, Spyro. This boss has many tricks up his sleeve.
This boss has no tricks up his sleeve. It doesn't do anything. This boss is kind of a joke. Alright, let's go do the speedway. Well, they're not called speedways in this game, are they? They're called flights, not speedways until Spyro 2. This might take me a few goes. These things are always a bit awkward. Probably should have got that on the way in. Oh well. What's next? Is it trains next or arches? Genuinely do not remember the intended route. I want to say you meant to do like a sharp left out of the chest cave and do the arches. Hopefully that's still enough of time to do it in the first try. So one of one of those things that I always remember being really difficult, but I don't know for certain whether it is. Where's the last train? Oh, you don't get supercharged on this one, do you? So that's my mistake for getting that first train early. It meant I had no idea where on the track the last one was. Because if you leave them all till the end, then you can just go backwards along the track and just find them all as quick as possible. Right, sharp left through the first arch. Do it this way. Touch the wall. Okay, which direction is the train facing? Okay, we're done. 2 attempts, not bad. Back in a second. Right. That should be us all done with that since. Now, if I remember right, if you're being thorough and collecting everything before you move on to the next world each time, I'm pretty sure by the time you get to Magic Crafters, you've already got enough to then immediately advance. But the requirements for just any percenting this are really low.
Welcome to Peacekeeper, Spyro. Look how our treasure has been turned against us and stolen. Recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure. Got it.
I'll see how long this world takes me to clear, and depending on how we're looking, I might then move on and might call it a night once we get to Magic Crafters. Insomniac did have fun programming the enemy behaviour first, didn't they?
Hi, Spyro. Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterflies.
Now I'm being quiet, there's just not an awful lot to say about clearing out the hub worlds. They're all fairly straightforward.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some...
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to. We'll not get there tonight, not playing it, but Treetops is just never not a nightmare. Oh, what the fuck? It juked me. no skill points in this game, is there? So I don't need to worry about burning cactus or anything.
Thank you for releasing me.
Again, we could not think of dialogue for this dragon, so that's all you get.
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you're a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
You've known?
I forget.
Is there actually any, like, official content from the Insomniac days that indicates that Spyro is in any way special? I don't think there is. I mean, both this game and in Spyro 3, he's literally just, he's the only one that they call in to deal with the problem just by virtue of he's small. That's literally the only reason he didn't get caught by Nasty Norb. That's the only reason they sent him through to the, whatever they call the area in Spyro 3. Right, there's a key. There's a locked chest, isn't there, on that outer ledge. So there's no point in me gliding out there until I've got the key. So I'll just have to come back and do it anyway. I want to say the key is at that top section. So coming out of here, there's a room you can glide across to, but then rather than taking it to the level exit across there, you just I guess it's not from here. Yeah, it's a real antagonist.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
So we'll do the whole lower section. This one's just a fairly blind turn. You have to kind of know that's there to go do it. Okay.
Incredible glide, Spyro. I thought I'd be stuck here forever with those ugly vultures standing on my head. Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled, with a pinch of salt.
That, I don't know why that line always gets cut off. how obvious that was, but Spyro kind of got stuck on the edge of that step for a second there. Right, you don't actually need to be on the elevated platform. I'm just making things hard for myself. Hopefully that's enough. Yep. Is that everything? Clifftown. Clifftown is probably a level that I have gotten managed to get stuck on before, just because I've been missing some gems. But in terms of showing off the kind of potential of the level design in this game, I think this is kind of one of the best that they've got. Because the way you progress through it. I mean, in a way, this is doing a similar thing to what Ness's loot's doing, but because Ness's loot also wants to give you the ability to fly, it feels a lot more artificial in that particular level. Yeah, because on Ness's loot, they have to artificially cap how high you can fly in order to prevent you from getting to the later areas too soon. Whereas in this, your progress is entirely driven by the level design. Well, I missed some gems, clearly. It's fine, we'll be looping back round.
How's a dragon supposed to flame metal armor anyway?
Remember, Spyro, flame won't harm metal, but charging with your horns, that should do the trick.
Again, how has someone got this far in the game without working it out for themselves? So yeah, by modern standards, this is probably a very simple level in reality, but for the time it did have quite a good flow to it. You worked your way through like the ground floor of the whole level. You're now ascending this kind of tall structure. You can actually climb in. Now the way the level is presented, the level exits here. So my initial playthrough, if you're not being thorough, you might think, oh well, that's my key to leave.
Hey, what's on the other side of that river?
Why don't you glide there and find out?
Yeah, whereas instead, you can realise that you've got so much height over here that you can now cross the canyon and get to this other section that has a bunch more stuff on it. Which kind of the main through line of the level does not take you to at all. But it's quite a neat reward for, I mean, admittedly the game does spell it out to you to an extent, but nevertheless it's quite a neat reward for taking the time to explore.
You've reached the highest point in Clifftown. You can get to almost anywhere from here. If I were you, I'd use that whirlwind there.
That cutscene always confused me. Effectively, it's just telling you, hey, there's a shortcut back there if you drop down from here, so feel free to experiment and explore. The way it's presented doesn't spell that out very well, especially not when you're in like 7 years old playing this. These are some of the cheekiest gems in the level, hidden behind the entrance. I don't think you can get enough height to get to without coming from the top. Yeah, those gems are extraordinarily rude. Back there. How many levels have I got left to do with Peacekeepers? It's just the Ice Caves, Dr. Shemp, and Night Flight. That's it. So yeah, I'll probably get Peacekeepers done and then save and call it a night. So, yeah, I suspect that, I seem to recall that Spyro 2 is the only one that just has a world that just has disproportionately many levels compared to everything else around it. Which, I've got no basis besides the fact that they team named it off seasons, but I still suspect it's just down to, down to them cutting a hub world at some point. So it's crammed it all into one of the other ones. Pretty sure the first time I played this, I thought the bats were enemies.
A word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
Again, the game reiterating, hey, don't charge big enemies. It's just like, how have you not just come to the conclusion that I've worked that one out if I've gotten this far into the game? I know this is a kid's game, I know, but the applications of charging versus flaming is something you are expected to know very early on. Oh, it's been a while since I've watched a Spyro 1 speedrun. Is there a cleaner route than doing the actual ice cave backwards? You've got to come up to this chest and then glide down to get the key, but that then forces you to go backwards to the ice cave to get back up there. Unless it's quicker just to... maybe it's quicker to hit that dragon up there first, grab the key, and then intentionally commit suicide to walk back to the checkpoint it's set with the key in tow, and you can just do the level forwards again after you've opened the chest. Oh well.
Thank you for releasing me.
Another stunning conversationalist there. I know I said earlier in the stream that this game is not that generous handing out lives, but I'm going to have to take that back. I'm just racking up lives right now. I mean, this isn't Crash Bandicoot levels of lives, but...
Spyro! Some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor. And in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
Hmm.
You obviously always knew that. I never trust these lampposts. I just always think I'm gonna somehow charge and have some collision glitch just make me run straight past them and then just fall straight into the hole. I say we're back on track. The entire reason why we went backwards to the whole area was to open that blooming chest, and I just didn't even want to do that. What the hell am I thinking? And that's just taking a nice little flight through the floor. Let's see. I guess that's the alternative. So you just accept the backtrack and have the glide be your shortcut back after you've done the backtrack. I never know whether the spark sound effects you get whenever you pick up a gem by like jumping out and landing on it is meant to be intentionally that sparks knowledge that you're taking its job, or whether that's just a side effect of the game wants to send sparks to get it on the same frame that you collect it, so it triggers the sound effect, but then immediately cancels the operation because it realises it's no longer needing to be collected. I'm not going to know that decompiling the game, and I'm too stupid to do that. So. I literally only exist in this room. So that was a different guy, right? That wasn't just a... yeah. Purple one rather than a green one. At least there's more than one. Or whatever it was. Oh god. Okay. I'm dead. I thought he was going to take 2 charges, and then he didn't. And now I regret not touching that. I didn't at the end. Which I left because I thought I'd just grab it on the way past. Later on. All the gems are still collected, so...
Done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
I'll tell you, I've never worked out how you're meant to get up to those extra lines. There's no obvious place to glide from. Like, it can't be from within inside here because the ceiling's too low around the door frame. So it can't be like a last challenge to glide through this area. So either there's someone at the top of the structure or someone to glide around it.
Thank you for releasing
Unless
me.
you do a blind glide from where the lockbox is, or even from the start of the level. So that's where the little lockbox is. Don't think that's going to work, but maybe from the level start would. I mean, it'd be a blind glide, but I don't know. It's only got 3 lives on it. It's, you know, a nice to have, but it's not imperative. Shampoo. Some of these loading screens, Spyro looks like still a bit of an overbite. It's not a problem, it's just an odd design. It doesn't actually show up anywhere besides those like loading screens. I will say having camera controls and figures is something that I'm so glad to move away from. This glides a bit fast, so that's not sure.
This guy thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I'll tell you one thing. He should watch his back.
I'm messing up this fight. Shemp was one of my least favourite redesigns in Reignited. There's something about how incredibly basic his character design is in this that he just felt a bit over-engineered in Reignited. I'm pretty sure the next phase is the one where he just spins it on the ground, so I think I'll risk doing it without getting another health bump. Checkpoint no one there. No, I'm dead. Never mind. Oops, fell off. There we go. Oh, that just screwed me. I guess we're going this way. That's all I need to do anyway. that the most obvious routes are quickest. I've never been too keen to experiment too much with these levels. And that's great. Again, yes. I remember there's one of these that has like 3 separate areas on different heights, like it is, that are waterways, like you've got to get boats on that one. That one's a nightmare. And there's another one, I don't think it's this one, there's another one besides this one that has light races on that one. Like something like Spyro 3 that has light races on that name. Right, there we go, second try. Right, we'll go open up the balloonist, get saved, and call it a night there. Goals not. I have no idea whether this save will actually persist. I did gut this memory card once, thinking it was a battery backup based thing, because given that it's a third party thing, it wouldn't have surprised me, but it didn't appear to be. There didn't seem to be any power supply in it, so I assume it's some kind of it wouldn't be flash memory because it dates back to the 90s, but something of that vein. But again, I've definitely had this memory card lose saves before, so whether or not I'll be able to come back to this or not, I don't know. But we'll see.